Welcome. Good morning. Welcome, YouTube. Watch another presentation of the Solid Sports video blog. This is episode 291. Today's date is May 7th, 2025. I'm Troy Westside. Thank you for watching. You're watching the Solid Sports Gaming channel. Appreciate you guys so much for being here once again. Um, it's been a rough couple of days, but I'm still was able to go live. Um, so I'm glad to be here with you guys this morning. Thank you guys for the support. Um, got a big show today. Big show today. A lot to talk about. We'll check out the latest in the MLB. Look at the standings um, in both the American and National League. NBA playoffs. We in round two with some great games last night. Um, Pacers up 2-0 on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Warriors take game one from Minnesota. They up 1-0. And then tonight, two more game twos. Knicks with a 1-0 lead over Boston, which is a surprise as well. And the Nuggets are up 1-0 on the OKC Thunder in that series. So all the road teams, in which they say it was the first for the second round, every road team won game one. And then Indiana, like I said, they up 2-0. Took the first two in Cleveland. So that series is going to really get interesting. Game three is going to be huge for the Cavaliers. We'll talk about all that. Also, Coach Popovich, he retired. I touch on what I feel about Coach Greg Popovich for the Spurs. And NFL news, of course, you see the thumbnail. Justin Tucker got cut. I think it was what's the day? Wednesday. I think it was Monday. So that was I mean, it wasn't a shock to me, but it was the timing was a little bit surprising. So I give my thoughts on that, what I know, what I've read and known about the situation, and just some other little NFL news as well. I just saw this morning that George Pickens is going to the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm gonna get into that as well. So we got a lot to cover today. As far as with the channel, projects, like I said, I got to get some of my projects back on track. But right now, you probably go see a lot of Spider-Man 2 for now. We finished Ninja Gaiden. We might see some more Tekken 8 videos randomly, some more Call of Duty videos randomly. But I got to get back into, I'll say Forever Skies, you're going to see that as well. Friday, we're going to go live again. I think that was successful last week. So we're going to go live with Forever Skies probably Friday. And you'll still see some videos of that here and there. Pacific Drive as well. I think I did just mention that. And Dragon Ball Sparkle Zero. I haven't played that in a while. I just put it down. So I need to get back into those projects and get them up. But other than that, the channel's going strong. Like I said, I'm really supposed to be at work, but I had to take a little step away. So that's why I had the free time to do the blog today, Wednesday, which became one of our normal days. So next week, probably also I'll be able to do it because I don't think if I go back to work, and it's going to be probably another week or so. So, but that's a long story, but it's just been rough last couple of days. So, like I said, I appreciate you guys' support, and I'm happy to be here this morning still. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, which is always the case for probably everybody in life. So, yeah. So, so with all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. MLB standings. As we look at the current standings, of course, it's still early in the season. We turn to the month of May. So we look here, American League East, Yankees with a slight 2-game lead over the Boston Red Sox, but the Yankees is the only team over 500 now in the division. Boston's a game under 500, but they still only 2 games back. Tampa, 3 games under 3.5, and Toronto's 3.5. Toronto and Tampa got the same record. And the Baltimore Orioles, of course, a team that I also follow being from Baltimore, being here. And I'm a fan. I can't say I'm not a fan, but I'm just an Atlanta Braves fan first. That's all. But the Orioles are 6 out, but they are 8 under 500. They're playing a little bit better though, as of late. So, um, AL Central, real tight. The Detroit Tigers at 22-13. Cleveland 21-15. Cleveland's a game and a half. Kansas City 2 games back at 21-16. You got Minnesota 6.5, 4 under, and the White Sox 16 under at 12.5 games back. So, starting to slip away for the White Sox. Seattle Mariners is in first place in the West for now. The Oakland A's, the Athletics, because they're not the Oakland A's anymore. They are 2 games out. Texas Rangers even at 18-18, 3.5. Houston Astros 4 back, but a game under 500. And the Angels, who got off to somewhat of a decent start, but now it's starting to come back down to earth. 6.5 back for the Angels. American League overall, like I said, to me, it's the Yankees and everybody else. Because I just don't. Aaron Judge, like I looked at some stats last night, he's hit 400 with 12 home runs. That's why it's kind of crazy how his his postseason numbers are. But he's having a monster roster year, clearly on his way to another MVP if he keeps this up. The Tigers, like I said, I like the Tigers also, but I just don't think any of these teams can beat the Yankees in the series, a 7-game series. So that's just where I stand on it. We'll see if another team emerges or these teams give you inclination that they can challenge the Yankees. But as of right now, I think the Yankees are clearly the best team in the American League, even though they don't have the best record right now. National League, New York Mets, as we look at the East first, 23-14. They 2 ahead of the Philadelphia Phillies. My Braves fought back. They still a game under 500. They 5 games out, but they crawled out the basement. They passed the Nationals, who are now 3 games under the 6 back, and the Miami Marlins is now in the basement at 14-21, 7 under, with 8 games back in the division. Chicago Cubs. I've been sort of following them lately. They having a great season. They're pretty much collective as a team. I just like what they're doing right now. They emerge as a favorite to win this division. I just like how they put things together. So look out for the Cubs. Kyle Tucker's having a monster season. I think he came from the Houston Astros, so he's been playing well for the for the Cubs. Excuse me. Mets are just a mess. The Mets are just a deep team. They're gonna be tough to beat. Milwaukee is a game out. 3 games back, but a game over 500 19-18. Cincinnati 18-19, game under. So is St. Louis. They both are 4 games out, and then Pittsburgh in the basement at 12-25. I wonder how Paul Skenk's season is going. Let's check that out real quick. Because he's definitely the main attraction for the Pirates. And still having a decent season. Leads his team, wins, ERA, strikeouts still. So, having a decent season so far. But I could imagine he might not get the run support and things that he needs to succeed. So that's where the Pirates stand. In the West, the Dodgers, the Padres is just a half out, and the Giants, all separated by less than 2 games. Dodgers are 24-12. The Ohtani, again, he's hardly having another great season. I think he's supposed to start pitching soon this year. San Diego Padres hanging in there, 23-12. And San Francisco is 23-14. So they a game and a half. But then Arizona 5 back, but still 2 games over as well. So 4 teams in this division is over 500. Of course, that's the most in all the divisions so far. And then the Rockies just 6 wins on the season, 17 out already. Um, like I said, I always bring up my buddy. Good vibes. Hopefully he's doing well. Haven't seen or heard from him in a while, but that's his team, and I don't see how they're gonna change things around in the near future. So that's gonna be interesting to see um, what the Rockies do. I think they need to. Well, when you this bad, if you got any veterans, you trade them, flip them for some farm system guys, and hopefully they come up and one of them elevate their game. I think that's what the Rockies should be thinking about doing. But as far as I know, I don't think they have any real Rick veterans on their team. We're gonna look at their roster real quick, but um, yeah, they're not playing well at all. Um, Actually, I'm looking at their roster. I don't recognize any of these names at all. So these all could be young guys. I don't know, but like it's gonna get worse before it get better for the Rockies. So, but for my buddy Good Vibes, I hope they become at least respectable again soon. But I don't. It's definitely not gonna be this year. So that's the MLB standings. News is not really no news. Like I said, it's just the guy that's off to great starts. I was just talking about Paul Skinks. Uh, I guess there's a little flaw with him. He's 0-4 against the Arizona Cardinals. I think that's in his career. Let's see. Um, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So for my sake, I know he pitched against him 4 times already this year. Okay. But see, they lost. This was Tuesday. Yesterday. They lost 2-1 though. So no run support. Um, he gave up the 2 runs though, but you got to get more run support than that. Like you're still human, you still need your teammates to pick you up every once in a while. The great pitchers, you probably give them 3 or 4 runs, and you should be fine. Then the bullpen hold her down, But but he took responsibility for it. He said, "I'm just not executing." That's a quote from him against the Cards. So he took responsibility for it. He ain't blame his teammates for not scoring enough runs or any of that stuff. So he takes responsibility. He's going to be a great player in this league. The Pirates just got to build around him better. Um, and once that happens, I think, you'll really see him elevate. The All-Star game was kind of cool last year 'cause I think he got to start and you got to see him a little bit. Because, Pirates ain't on no national television, if you're a baseball fan. So it was good to see him last year at the All-Star game. All right, so we're going to now move on to the NBA. That was it for baseball. No off-the-field news really to get into. So, well, let's just talk about the games last night. And then I just break down everything. But before I do that, round 1 is over. Of course, I don't think I got to talk much because I do a show last week. Well, it only takes a week sometimes for series to be over. But just to get I guess I'm doing what the main media do, talk about the Lakers because, that could have been LeBron's last game. I don't think he's going to retire. I don't feel it. So I don't think he's going to retire, but just keep an eye on him, see how he acts. I say something on YouTube, which to me was overblown. The gala thing is out. Honestly, I don't really even know what that's for. To be honest with you, I heard of it before, but he went on social media and announced he wasn't going to show to the gala, and somebody made a whole video about it. And I ain't gonna say who because I kind of like watching him, but I was like, no, I didn't agree with him critiquing this. Like, and LeBron, he probably, well, I guess his point is he always, want attention with unnecessary attention, and I somewhat agree with that. But this, I would have just, I guess my problem was he said he don't care, but he made a whole 15-minute video out of it. So I wouldn't even give it that much energy if I didn't care about it. I probably would have just, well, like he does sometimes, post on this community wall. But it's a good watch. But anyway, they've been eliminated, so everybody's looking back at the Luka thing, and I think the Lakers still got a gift. I believe in Luka. I know everybody points to his conditioning, his maybe off the field stuff or whatever, off the court stuff, like far as not wanting to be in shape and all that stuff. But I mean, he's still too good. I mean, maybe they think he could get better if he stopped the little stuff that he does, and that might be true. But the Lakers are gonna be up to the Lakers to build around him. LeBron, even if he come back this year, I mean, basically every season now he stays. You gotta expect him to most likely he's leading more towards the retirement. So you gotta keep that in mind that LeBron to be gone. So you need to start building around Luka and go on with the future with the Lakers. So, but the way they lost that series, it was just Minnesota just to me just was the better team. They took advantage of their size. Julius Randle had a huge series to go along with Ant-Man. Ant-Man did his thing. So, excuse me about my voice. So I mean, I was surprised. I had I admit I had the Lakers go to the finals, so I did expect them to lose this series. But the Western Conference pretty much, if you could take advantage of your strengths, you could win the series. You saw it all in the first round. Clippers fell short against the Nuggets. James Harden again just couldn't put together a great game in Game 7s. He got a bad history of Game 7s. Warriors and the Rockets. The Warriors, I thought they was in trouble because they blew 2 games. They was up 3-1. But Houston couldn't close it out. Great Steve Kerr has done a great job coaching his team. Defensively, that's what I'm more impressed with the Warriors. They have defense even last night, and they win. We'll talk about that in a second. But in the East, Cleveland swept Miami, but now they're in big trouble. We're going to talk about them soon. Celtics didn't have too much trouble with the Orlando Magic, but I like the way the Magic, like I said, I like the direction that they're going in. Knicks was able to beat a spicy Detroit team in 6 games. Then they get the first game in this Boston series. And then the Pacers, like I said, Pacers, I'm really impressed with them. I'm gonna talk about them in extension. Maybe if I'm gonna segue to that game from last night. The Pacers, I just like the way they play. Tyrese Halliburton is definitely motivated. They had a poll, I think, that he was voted the most overrated player. But 2 games already, he's made game-winning shots for Indiana. They was dead in the water in last night's game. Was down 20 and then just flipped it around. Donovan Mitchell did everything he could, 48 points, basically almost a triple-double. But Cleveland, they are injured. I mean, I give them this reprieve. They are injured right now. So I think they're going to need Garland back. I think Hunter is now hurt also. So they got some key guys that they're going to need in this series because the Pacers, the Pacers game plan is just to push the pace. Basically make you start making mistakes. The huge turnover to set up the game-winning shot by Halliburton. PL Siakam, they pretty much, I think Basically everybody's, it was like 6 or 7 people in double figures, but I don't think nobody scored more than 20 something points for the Pacers. See the difference. Donovan had to drop 48 for them to even be in this game. And then the Pacers are going home. Um, I don't want to say the series is over already. I'm gonna give Cleveland their respect. I think they need to get healthy though, but they have to win Game 3 to have it. They can't go down 3-9. Of course, that's just a death sentence for anybody anyway. But they have to win this game. It's obvious they can't lose this Game 3. They got to go in Indiana and get that game. They really, to me, they really probably got to win both. They got to do what Indiana did, go to their home court and win both of those games. And I'm honestly not sure if they could do it. That's why I'm leaning towards this series relatively being over. I don't see Indiana blowing it. Um, so Cleveland is in trouble, but hopefully they get somebody back for Game 3. Garland, Hunter. Um, they need both of them back, but if you get at least one of them back, that would help. Um, so but yeah, I couldn't believe it. Halliburton came up clutch. Got the rebound because Siakam, he missed a couple of key free throws. But Indiana was able to get the offensive rebound. Halliburton got a ISO, got a guy that he wanted on him. Hit the step back three, won the game for the Pacers to take a 2-0 lead. So that series is already 2 games in. Everybody else only played one game. Of course, last night, Game 1, Warriors and Timberwolves. Minnesota, to me, just looked rusty. They was off for a while. I just think they looked kind of rusty. Um, you started the second half. They started hitting shots. But I think it's also the Warriors' defense. I don't want to take anything away from the Warriors' defense. Warriors' defense has been great. But now a key thing in this series, Steph Curry is hurt with a hamstring. So we'll see. But I heard some experts say uh, um, that they if Steph they should probably rest them as much as they can because they up in the series. So not saying you want to lose, but you can afford to lose a game now. You came, you split, then you go back home. So I think they want to save him. So you might not see him in Game 2. But the Warriors, like the way they play, they still capable of winning without Steph. At least I think they need him for the long haul of the series. But as far as just one game, I think they could put together something. But Minnesota just struggled from the field. They looked at like they ain't played in a while, and it showed. They made a little push at the end, but it was pretty much Warriors from beginning to end. Um, but the Warriors' defense has been impressive. Draymond Green is, y'all give tip his hat to him. He's played very, very well. I think I already said this. Even with Steph, I think Jimmy got to be more of an offensive threat in this series. Um, Especially now, if Steph don't play, they're gonna need his scoring now. Um, the bench has played well. Brzezinski, well, even though he's a starter, but he's played well. Buddy Hield has been, I believe, he's been the one that's been unbelievable for them, especially the last 2 games. He had another great 3-point outing. So Warriors get that. They're still capable of winning without Steph, but I think as far as long haul of the series, but if they could get Game 2, I feel almost the same way I feel about Indiana. I don't see the Warriors blowing it. Big game for Minnesota in Game 3. I think it ain't till Friday. I think they said so. Um, yeah. So that's um, what's the day? The 7th, right? So no, it's this Thursday. It's the next game. So tomorrow is the next game. Okay. So Game 2. Okay, Game 3 is probably not till Saturday. I think that's what I heard last night. So that series is interesting. All of them is because the road team won. They say in a playoff series, the series don't start till the road team wins on the road. So all these series is a guy started. So let's put it that way. So the other 2 series, Denver Game-winning shot by Eric Gordon in Game 1. Shocked the OKC Thunder. Um, Nikola Jokic, again, the Joker, doing what he does. 40 points. I think he had 40, 20, and 6. Something crazy like that. Even though the Thunder got length, but they don't have a lot of strength for their front line. And I think the Joker took advantage of that. Eric Gordon, he's been huge for them throughout this run. The only person that I'm um, disappointed, well, two guys. Jamal Murray, I think even though he played okay, I think he got to play better. But Michael Porter Jr., that's the guy that has to step up. To me, he's the X factor. I felt that about them last year when they went on a championship run. He had some huge games, but he's been quiet throughout the playoffs. I think he got to play better. The Thunder, like I said, they're a collective group as well. SGA, he did what he does, 33 points. But this is gonna be interesting. I want to see how they bounce back in Game 2, because everybody's saying they inexperienced as well, like how Houston was. Um, the Thunder got to come back and get this game before it goes to Denver. Russell Westbrook, give him credit as well. He's motivated. That's why I would be happy if Denver somehow um, won the whole thing. I don't think they will. Um, but I think if they made a run and they was able to do it, Russell deserve it. He's had a great career, and he's stepped into his role very, very well for the Nuggets. So the Nuggets take Game 1 in that series, and then back to the East. New York Knicks and Boston Celtics. Celtics basically just missed their threes. They missed 45 threes. They probably shot like close to 73, something crazy that I can't think off the top of my head right now. I know they missed 45. That's what the stat was, but I always said about Boston, but they so good at doing it that it's not going to happen. Like Game 2, they probably hit 40 something threes. I mean, that's just how good they are. Even though that'd be nuts if they hit 43s, but they might hit 23s. I put it that way. That's more realistic. Tatum and Brown, they go to bounce back. So you expect them to bounce back in Game 2. But I give the Knicks credit. They was playing well defensively. They was running them off the line. They made it hard for them to shoot threes. Jalen Brunson, did what he does down the stretch again. Miles Bridges had some big moments as well. I think Cat, even though he didn't play horrible, I think he still got to play better for the Knicks. But you get the Knicks credit. They take this game, so they do what you do. You split. That's just go usually when you're on a road. You split the first two. But I don't believe in just giving away a game. So I think they should play hard in this game and try to get this one as well. Make Boston, make them have their backs against the wall. But I don't see it. I think Boston's probably they probably reverse it and shoot the lights out this game. So the Knicks gotta be ready for that. But that series is interesting as well. So I'm kind of glad it went down like this because people would suspect. People said Boston could have swept the Knicks. So we already get that out the way. That's not going to be a sweep. So Boston, I think this could go 6-7 games as well. I think the only series I feel like could be over already is that Pacers Cavaliers series, just because how Indiana has won these first two games, plus the little injuries that Cleveland has. So, but I think the other series is, even though the road team won, I think they're going to be long because I think Minnesota also is going to bounce back at home against the Warriors. If there's no Steph from beginning to end, maybe the Minnesota put together a game plan. I think Ant-Man, one thing somebody said interested about Ant-Man, so he played better the second half, but he was smart. He started, he seen his shot wasn't falling. He started going to the basket. Then he hit a three. So he got himself, he made an impact. He had 14 rebounds. So he wasn't just out there not doing anything. So, and I think he's still young, so I think he's still learning. He's still learning how to pick his matchups and stuff. So he's going to be a great player. He's already a great player, but he's going to even be better as time go on. Probably in this series. Um, but the Warriors are great defensively, so it's not going to be easy for any of these two teams. Um, but yeah, the Indiana series I think could be already um, over with. But the other ones I think they still going to go 6, 7 games maybe. But well, now I like Indiana because I think I probably would have picked Cleveland to win this series. I'm gonna go with Boston still because I got them. They my East team coming out. Now in the West, um, West is tough because you could argue for all four of these teams. Denver got the championship pedigree. The Thunder's been the best team in the league all year. Minnesota is capable, um, and so is the Warriors with their experience and championship pedigree. So right now, man, all right. I'm gonna put it like this. I kind of like how the Warriors are playing, but now that Steph is hurt, that make me cause the pause. So I'm gonna go with the Thunder for now. I think they're gonna bounce back from this Denver game and win this series. But um, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked either way. Any of these series go. I wouldn't be shocked either way. Um, but I go with the Thunder for now to come out the West now since the Lakers are gone. So, but yeah, the playoffs they're here. They've been great so far. The first round was good. The second round was off to a great start. But the Pacers they really been impressing me. Um, I don't know if they could beat Boston. Um, I think they could beat the Knicks if the Knicks somehow upset Boston. I think they could go toe to toe with the Knicks. But Boston, I'm still not sure of. But I give the Pacers also the respect. They're not afraid. And that's what I was telling my brother last night. They're not afraid. They're gonna play they game. Um, but teams try to slow them down. Even last night, Cleveland tried it a little bit, but it didn't work. Um, I think Cleveland once they got up 20, I think they should have definitely slowed the game down. But I think they still Indiana forced them to run up and down the court. Like I said, Donovan, there was too much pressure on Donovan to score so much points. The Pacers, they've been probably the most impressive team so far for the postseason. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Boston still out the East, and I'm gonna go with the Thunder since the Lakers are out. But I love how the Warriors are playing right now. And the Warriors are somewhat, I would say, surprised me, but um, I didn't think they'd be playing this well, especially on the defensive end. Even though they've been doing it since they got Jimmy Butler, they've been playing good defense. So they dangerous. And then if Steph and Hill do what they've been doing, they're gonna be hard to beat for anybody. But we'll see how long Steph is out. That's gonna be a factor for Golden State. But they look pretty damn good right now. So it's hard not to get behind the Warriors. I would argue with anybody picking any of these teams that's left, especially in the West. Like any of the four teams could come out, and in the East, I still will go with Boston. But you see, they got weaknesses when they threes ain't falling. They can get beat by anyone. So, yep. So that's the playoffs review for right now. Yeah, I said I wanted to touch on Coach Pop. Coach, he retired pretty well. Not retired. I guess retired from coaching, but he's going to be in the front office with the Spurs. He had some health issues this year. He did coach much of this year. But he stepped down as the coach. He's going to be in the front office. Definitely one of the best coaches of all time. Spurs from I want to say 94-ish, 95-ish to what 20 well basically when Duncan retired, which was what 2017, 2016, basically 20 years. The Spurs was a perennial contender. Never won back to back. I guess that's a little jab. They never won back to back. Probably really against Miami, they probably should have. They could have won back to back. During the 2000s, They was pretty much winning every other year, but they never could put together 2 straight years because they battled with the Lakers. They was in the way, or somehow, or OKC beat them one season, 1 year, so they couldn't even get to the finals. Um, and the only finals they lost during this run was the Miami one with the Ray Allen shot. But if they made it to the finals, they usually got it done. When they went against the Pistons, when the Pistons tried to go back to back, that was a great series. Seven, did it go 7? Yeah, it was 7 games. Um, Great basketball, team ball. Um, but the Spurs, you know, you think about them, they pretty much was the Warriors before the Warriors was. They started shooting a lot of threes. In that Miami series that when they destroyed Miami the second year, they they shot threes all over the place. Pretty much beat them in 5 games. Just was dominant. Um, but yeah, Derek, what's up, man? Yeah, that's true. A lot of coaches is from his tree. Let me think. Who? Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr is pretty much from his tree. Um, that's one there. It's a couple of guys. Um, but yeah, but that's a good point. Is he got a lot of coaches in this league that's from his tree or with his background. So I heard somebody say that he's gonna be more known for the also for the low management, which is you can look at that 2 ways. I mean, I think, like I said, I think it still depends on the player. We talked about this before, but yeah, he did start that. He did play Tim and them in back to backs. He got a lot of flack from it from the league because it would be a TV game and you find out that Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker wasn't playing. He would basically sit the whole starters down for a couple of games for the playoffs. But it worked for them because other than Kawhi, because Kawhi still got hurt. Um, but it worked for them overall. So now everybody does it to an extent. But like I said, it really depends on the player. But yeah, he was a great coach. Was a little snappy with the media. A lot of people didn't like that about him. Even he would pretty much downplay the media. Um, Unless he wanted something he wanted to get across, he'll talk. But like him and Craig Sager used to be funny. Rest in peace for Craig Sager, But he used to mess with Craig Sager from TNT all the time. Craig Sager used to wear those crazy suits. He'd say, "Man, what you got on?" He would ignore the question that Craig asked him. He'd just crack on his suit. But I think Coach Pop was more. I don't think he was serious about some of the stuff he was, especially with Craig. But like far as the press conferences and stuff, he was sort of a little surly a little bit sometimes. Um, but he was a great coach. Of course, Phil Jackson, of course, is probably the greatest. But the knock on Phil is, well, he had Jordan and Kobe and Shaq, and. But the underrated thing about Phil is he can, think about all those personalities in the room, especially the Bulls with Rob. You had Robin, you had Scotty, Mike. You had to get all of them to coexist. And then the Shaq and Kobe thing, even though we found out that Shaq and Kobe didn't get along, but they still won 3 straight titles. So he made them at least work together enough to win titles. If why not blowing up, Shaq had to move, and then even him and Kobe got into it. And they let Phil go. They basically the Lakers chose Kobe over Shaq and the Phil Jackson. They fired Phil Jackson and brought him back. Remember when the Lakers won the back-to-back with Paul Gasol as Kobe. So, but yeah, Pop is definitely up there. Larry Brown, I think, is underrated. I think he's as far as for me, he's one of the best coaches. I like Rick Carlisle to me is underrated. Look what Rick Carlisle is doing with the Pacers. Like Rick Carlisle, I would say today is one of the good coaches in the league. Ty Lue is underrated also. A lot of people like Doc. Like I said, I think Doc is a little overrated to me. But and then now we got a lot of up and coming coaches, young coaches, like the coach from Cleveland, Atkinson. Um, a lot of people think he says he's a great coach. So most of the coaches league now, it's a new era of coaches. Um, yeah, I forgot about Mark Jackson, but Mark Jackson was huge for that Warriors. Yeah, that's why Steve Kerr, what he done. Um, First, people was looking at him sideways. They basically said he took Mark Jackson team, and I think Steve did because this is Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, like the Mark Jackson Warriors, I think I think still playing too much old school. What I mean by that, like offensively, the Warriors would be going, and then he had slowed the pace down too much, and I think that allowed teams to get back into the game. I think Steve just pretty much let you be you. Not saying Mark didn't let Steph be Steph and Draymond be Draymond, but I think Steve sort of just pushed them to be more like themselves, pushed them harder to be more like themselves. But Mark Jackson, I think he would have probably won titles also if he didn't wind up staying with the Warriors. And I think he should have got another chance to coach. But what happened behind the scenes with Mark Jackson, something with the owner, and I heard it was some religious stuff going on also. So I'm like, but see, he pissed off the owner, so the owner probably went to the other owners was like, look, it was unfortunate. So, um, but hopefully he get another shot, maybe after this season. I think he still wants to coach. So hopefully somebody will look at him and he could get another opportunity. But it was weird with the Warriors with Mark. He should have stayed. But he pissed the owner off, and the owner was done with him. So that's what happened with that. And then Steve Kerr came and took the Warriors to another level. So um, that's what happened with that. But hopefully he get another opportunity. Um, but Coach Pop, he's up there in age. He has health problems, so hopefully he enjoy the rest of his life. Um, Mike D'Antoni, yeah, Mike D'Antoni, yeah, Mike D'Antoni. He now see the crazy thing is now the way the league is now. This is he Mike D'Antoni. I love this. Like now everybody shoot threes right up and down the court. But he was criticized for it because the Suns kept losing in the playoffs. They would have a great regular season, win 60 games. Steve Nash won 2 MVPs in this offense. Um, he went to Houston. He was with Harden when Harden first started going off in Houston. He was the coach in Houston also. Um, but yeah, Mike D'Antoni, he's his fingerprints is all over this league. Don Nelson, another old school coach. Um, he liked it to run the pace with the old Warriors with the Chris Webber Warriors, and Tim Hardaway Warriors. Don Nelson was a coach. The Dallas Mavericks with Dirk, the early 2000s. Don Nelson was the coach. They was scoring 120, 130 a game, run up and down the court. So those two coaches will love it today in today's game. They was a little bit before their time, but back then the rules were still different. So teams like Phoenix, even I don't remember that series where Phoenix played the Spurs, and the Spurs just pretty much just bullied them. Robert Horry when he knocked Steve Nash into the bench table, whatever it was, and got Amari Stoudemire suspended and won that series. So yeah, Mike D'Antoni, he would love it. I was surprised he ain't just come back just to because they play this style of basketball. So yeah, but I like that Mike D'Antoni. But like I said, if you don't win, then yeah. So yeah, but I think congratulations to Coach Pop. We'll see what he do in the front office. There's rumors that the Spurs are eyeing I heard it yesterday. The pair, like they might try to go for Durant. Durant right now is the hottest name to be traded. They said Houston also, but I could see him fitting with the Spurs. Also, him, De'Aaron Fox, and Wemby. Yeah, that'd be a good team. You can see doing something. But see, they got what's that young boy that played for the Spurs? They would probably have to give him up um, because Phoenix don't have no draft picks. So yeah, so that's gonna be interesting to see what happened with that. So we'll see if the Spurs go for him. Houston said, well, the front office said that they um, they don't really want Durant because Durant's older. So they said if they trade for Durant, well, if they trade, what's the kid that had a bad series against the Spurs? Um, Dang it, I hate when my brain goes crazy. But he had the 30-point game, and then he pretty much shrunk the rest of the series. But they want the same age group. They want somebody in their young 20s. Of course, the Rams 36, 37. So Houston says they out, but they could be just saying that to maybe fool other teams for not to touch Durant either. Um, but Kevin, like Durant, he I mean, it's just hard. Like he's a great player. He can get you 30 in his sleep. But it seems like other than the Warriors, he just can't will his team. Like that Phoenix team, it's just hard. The more you think about it, like why were they so bad? Like they should have been that bad. They should have at least made the playoffs. Like minimum, at least made the playoffs. But what happened in Brooklyn? What happened in Brooklyn wasn't really his fault. It was a lot going on with Kyrie and when James Harden was there. That he was hurt a couple of times also. Um, but this Phoenix team, I think you gotta look at him and saying why they didn't at least make a postseason. So, but Phoenix is in trouble because they don't got no draft picks. They don't. They basically you pretty much stuck with this team. Um, Unless you can get Bradley Beal has a no trade clause, but that's who I would try to move, even though it's up to him. He got to waive the trade. He got to waive it, and then I don't think it's a big market for him either. So Phoenix is pretty much they probably have to put this same team back out there. Devin Booker, he's probably somewhat untouchable because um, he's basically he's been in Phoenix his whole career. The community like him, I heard. So um, he might not be touched unless he wants out. That's the only reason he would leave. But um, the Rat and Bill, you definitely got to flip them into some draft picks or to some quality players. But Bill with the no trade clause, it's going to be hard to move him if he don't want to move. So the Suns are in trouble as a franchise for the next few years. So, all right, man. I'm glad you here, Derek, because this is tough for me, man, to talk about. I want to talk about it a little bit. Justin Tucker, man, like I when the news first, I mean, I'm not surprised because what we draft a kicker in the fourth round, and usually you don't draft kickers at all. Like usually, like if you get drafted out a kicker, either you amazing kicker, either you really great in college, like basically never missed a kick in college or something, and can do other things. That's the only reason why a kicker would get drafted in the draft period. And then the fourth round is kind of high to draft a kicker. So I started saying, okay, all right, they gonna at least probably try to keep this guy on the roster. Like he's gonna at least probably make the team. You spent the fourth round pick on the kicker. Um, I just thought they would wait a little longer just to see if more information comes out. Everything I heard, it don't sound good. I think it's 16 women. I think they said I heard it's 8 different parlors. He been banned from some of them. He still tried to go. He was harassing the women and all this other stuff. Um, I mean, but the Ravens, if you just look at, not comparing the two per se, but just when somebody get in trouble, the Ravens usually don't waste no time getting rid of them. The Ray Rice thing, of course, is the obvious one. Um, Even though the Ravens, I don't like that they said that. Even though it's somewhat truth to it, but I don't think it's the truth that it was because it was a football decision and all this other media talk. Like, no, y'all did this because of this situation. Um, but it's a little bit of football because I think I think that's why he started missing. I think it's his mind. He started missing kicks. I think because he knew this was coming. Now maybe that's explain why the last 2 years he really haven't looked the same at all. Um, missing extra points. Like first time don't miss no extra points. Um, Now I think his last 10 field goals for 50 plus yards. I think he's like 1 and 10 or two and like something crazy. Like where he was the all-time leader in that in kicking period percentage. Um, so to me, in my opinion, that's why especially last year, he then this came out right during the playoffs. So um, I like where I stand on like Ravens gonna do what they want to do. Like any team gonna do what they want to do. My only issue is don't basically y'all. I think y'all basically lying. Like it's not just a football decision. The only reason why you can even say that because yeah he struggled the last 2 years. Um, but most people social media anyway. Most Ravens fans they not happy about this. They still support him. They want him to leave the team. And overall, I don't. I just it's just I guess since he's been there so long, just like with any player when they gotta go. I don't know how this gonna work out with this new kicker. The weird thing is, I think uh, I don't know if the Ravens put out the tape, but basically showed the kicker practicing that he was dead on with his kicks. He was looking great. And then a day later, after I saw that video, he gets cut. Um, so I think all this was calculated to make it look like it's a football move, but we all know it's not just about football here. They made their decision once they drafted this kicker. They made their decision they was going to let Tuck go. Especially the draft a kicker that high. You usually wait till after the draft and sign a kicker, a free agent. You make them. You sign a free agent. You wait till after the draft. You don't draft a kicker. It's like almost a wasted draft pick to most teams. So you usually wait till after the draft and just sign him as a free agent. Which they could have probably did this guy because nobody. I mean, so the draft from that high told me something right there. Like, all right, yeah, they really about to move on from Tuck. I just thought everything was gonna wait to maybe more information come out, a little bit more information, even though there's a lot of information out there. What he possibly done. So, um, just it didn't look good for Tuck, but I just hate when anybody, and like I said, if he done these things, of course he maybe should be punished or whatever it is. I wonder if the NFL still gonna discipline him. If like let's just say he gets signed by somebody else. I'm more interested to see what the NFL does, but I'm sort of on the fence with it. Like I didn't want him to go, but what can you do? That's why and I'm not here to judge nobody. I'm not perfect, but just unfortunate for Tuck. Like it's happened. To him. So we'll see if he get back into the league. Right. I've sort of I said the same thing. Like it's not criminal. Like anything that's to me anything that's not criminal. Even like I'm gonna use Shannon Sharp as an example. Right. The stuff he going through. That's not criminal. So why? But that's sponsorships. They just it's that's why I don't like social media because it's probably some people out there that think you should bury Justin Tucker for what he done or whatever. But if it's not to me, if it's not criminal, if you're not going to jail, then maybe you should get suspended. But for you to get cut or to lose your job or to lose sponsorships and all this other stuff, it's just I don't understand it. Like I just don't. I never understood that. So because all these women going to do, and this is why it's a double standard in a way. Even with the Shannon Sharp, throw the Shannon Sharp thing in there. If you really feel like this person violated you, I want you to go to jail first. I mean, yeah, if I get some money, fine, but I want you to go to jail. Like, I would be pushing for you to go to jail more than the money. So to me, what did that? How do you look if you're just trying to get money out of the situation? That's me, and it's not a popular opinion because women probably be like, well, such and such and such. Well, explain it to me. I'm more of asking the question. Like, do you, if this person, if you really felt violated, like he did something to you, why try to put this person in jail first? But they go straight to the what you call the lawsuits. If it's not, what's the basically suing them. You know, I forgot the name for that. But basically, all these women going to do is sue him if they do anything. They're going to sue him and try to get money. But now that he's cut or whatever, who knows what they're going to do? But yeah, so I don't know. It's just I don't understand that when it comes to these situations, like the Shannon Sharp thing. Like the girl, you know, you just trying to get money. Like you don't like if he did these days, of course. But why? I mean, but why he's not in jail? Because you say he raped you, so that's jail. That's jail stuff. Like forget the money. I want you to pay for it to go to jail. But since this person have to have money, I'm gonna go to the civil suit. That's what the word I was looking for. They always go straight to a civil suit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, you know, I would want you to go to jail. If you do something to me and it's against the law, I want you to go to jail. That's just me. But at the same time, I kind of get it. Like, but I would want both actually. I would put him in jail and I was trying to sue him. So I don't know, but that's just the way the world is now. So I wish Tuck luck though, man. He was a great Raven. Um, and now it's like I'm thinking in the future, like, all right, he deserved to be in the Ring of Honor and all. Still, I don't care about none of this stuff. Um, I hope this don't hurt none of that. Um, right, because the lawyers want to get paid. Like the guy behind the Shannon Sharp thing, Busby, whatever his name is. He's known to try to do this. But Shannon Sharp's stupid also, because he should. I mean, to be, you know, especially, you know, the success he's having. And I'm not saying I wouldn't have did it, but I wouldn't have had her that close to me. Like if I'm a mess with an OnlyFans model, because that's basically what she is, and that's to me that's smelly right there. You already should know what her mentality is. She waiting for an opportunity to get some money out of you, so you have to be very very careful with her. Like I would make her like not have a phone or nothing. I would basically it'd be like her like I wouldn't want her to get no information on me. Not nothing. You know. So he was sort of sloppy. Also, he should have known that was her mentality to try. Like she was going to wait for an opportunity to get money out you. You know. So he, but yeah, I just hope that Tuck, I don't think so. I think he might be done from the league because I think the rest of the league probably don't touch him either. Even teams that need kickers, as kickers, I would say maybe a little over half the league got decent kickers, but some kickers are so-so. And Tucker is definitely a great kicker. So, but I'd still be shocked if another team even sign him, at least for a while until this really really blow over. And then, like I said, the NFL might step in and still give him a couple games, give him 8 games or something. So, yeah. So, but I just want to touch on the situation. I'm sort of, I'm sort of what I admit. I'm on the fence with it. I don't. If it was my decision, I would have waited, at least waited till more information came out. And like you said, it's not a criminal case, so I most likely probably just would have maybe suspended him or something. Try to get ahead of the NFL, and just say Tuck, take the first 5-6 games off for the season or something, and then come on back. That's what I would have did. But the Ravens, ever since the Ray Rice situation, anybody that's even in an inkling of trouble, they don't waste no time to go there, let you go. So Yeah, so that's just sad as a Ravens fan that this happened to him. But I'm not surprised because, like I said, they drafted a kicker that high in the draft. They was going to dedicate some time to him. So, all right, man. So that's how I feel about that, man. I just heard this morning that some Steelers news. George Pickens got traded to the Cowboys this morning. Well, yes, I don't know if it was early this morning or it might have happened last night and I just didn't see it till this morning. That's an interesting trade. Let me see what they gave for. I think they only got a third round pick from Dallas. Um, but if that's going to be interesting because he's going to definitely be a great receiver to go with C.D. Lamb on the other side for Dallas. Oh, a third rounder and a fifth rounder. Okay, so a couple of draft picks. So that's not, But Pickens, he was, you know, right because they got DK. So now, they can part ways with Pickens. But Pickens was somewhat deterrent last year. I know you probably watched a lot of Steelers games last year, also being a Ravens fan. But he was pouting and things of that nature, going off on the sidelines, all that type of stuff. So he wanted out, I think anyway. Um, but I give George Pickett this, man. Like as far as hide his hands before the ball get right to him, he was great at that. Like the ball would come and just all of a sudden he'd just snatch it out the air. You'd be like, how the hell he do that? Like he was great at that. Russ to throw it up there and he'd bring it down. He's definitely a talented receiver. But I see people say this make Dallas a playoff. No, it don't. I mean, it makes them better, but they still don't got no running game. Like they still didn't get a running back in the draft. Defensively, they okay if they get healthy. They got to sign Micah. We'll see if they sign Micah. But this don't change that much for me for Dallas. Philadelphia is still better. Washington's still better. They in your division. I like what the Giants did in the draft. I'm not saying they're going to be great this year, but they got the kid Jax from was it Ole Miss. They traded up in the first round to get him. Not I think they probably should have got Shador. The Shador thing was crazy. I talked about that last week, but they got better. They got that kid, the linebacker from Penn State. So the Giants did some things to get younger and got some talent. It's probably gonna take a couple of years, but Dallas, we'll see what goes on with Dak this year when he comes back. A lot of Ravens fans no more. I'm with the Browns. Supported Shador. Yeah, well, I touched on it last week with him, right? He got a chance to start. It's going to be tough, but he got a chance to start this year. They re-signed Joe Flacco. We know Joe is just a bridge. He's not the long-term answer, and he's probably going to go in as the starter. Um, but they drafted another quarterback ahead of him. Um, the Oregon quarterback, Gabriel. To me, he's okay. He's not. Oregon was a good team, so that made him look a little bit better as a quarterback. Deshaun is done. They trying to wait until they might wind up just cutting him, eating the money, but they're gonna probably try to find a sucker out there to trade for him. If they can't, then they might just cut to watch Deshaun. So even though he's on the roster, he don't count. So really, Shador only got the rookie in front of him and Joe. So he gotta go in there. He gotta play well. He gotta do what he's supposed to do. But he got a chance to start. They lost Nick Chubb. I didn't. That's going to hurt Cleveland. I think they did draft another running back, a young running back. But yeah, I think they should have tried to keep Nick Chubb. Defensively, what Miles bring to the table, they secondary, so they going to be an issue if they get any type of good quarterback play. They're going to be a tough team to deal with in that division. We're in a tough division though. Period. Pittsburgh. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna wind up going there. I think he's just trying to wait till after the OTAs and stuff is over. Because if he signed now, then they're gonna expect him to be at the OTA. I think they already sort of made a deal on a hush hush. Other than that, I don't know. Like I think Pittsburgh would at least drafted a quarterback. I don't think they still didn't draft one. So I think Rodgers is their target. But if they don't get him, um, then Pittsburgh is in trouble because you still only got Mason Rudolph. So, um, but I think Shador can start this year. It might not be week one because I think if Joe stay healthy, he would be the starter. He played well in that offense before. The year they went to the playoffs, the year before last. So he's going to be the starter. But Joe, he did this for Lamar. Joe would he'll take a step back if he feel like he need to take. Let's just say he don't play well the first 2 weeks. He would. Joe is at that position. He'll go ahead and take a step back. He'll be the backup. Let the young boys take it. So he did that for Lamar. When he got, well, even though he got hurt and Lamar was playing well, he came back. He was like, no, Lamar's the starter. My time. That's why I respected Joe Flacco in certain ways also. Even though uh, he was up and down as a Raven, but Joe was solid. So I think it could be a similar situation here. So Shador got a shot to start in Cleveland. So we'll see. It's sooner than later. Because I really don't. I mean, Gabriel, I seen him play because Oregon was on TV a lot. He's not bad, but he's not all where he's decent. Like if you got a good team around him, which Cleveland does, he could do some things. But I still think Shador is better than him. So off that alone, I think um, Shador probably would somehow start eventually for the Browns. So yeah, so yep. So that's where I stood with that, man. I still think he should have slid as long as he slid in the draft. And that goofball that prank called him from Atlanta, well, it was this coach's son, but they got theirs because they got fined. Atlanta got fined 500,000, and the coach, the DC, it was his son. He got fined 25,000, which I think is fair. Um, so I think that was messed up. And then they recorded it. Yeah, that was terrible. I didn't like that, but he's gonna be fine. He got Dion blood in him. So you already know what he could do. You saw what he did at Colorado, even at Jackson State. I see some Jackson State games. I'm happy for Travis Hunter as well. I think Travis Hunter could change the fortunes in Jacksonville. So I like the way he went as well. Um, they're gonna let him play both sides. So I had to check that out. I watch the pivot sometimes. I ain't watching it in a while. I have to check that out. I have to check that out, man. Yeah, I have to check that out. Yeah, I watched the pivot. I watch this guy called Dreamers Pro, even though he's like a LeBron hater in a way. But I watch him as far as sports. I watch Nightcap still, even though the Shadow Shop thing. I still watch Nightcap. Uh, other podcasts. I watch a couple of podcasts. Um, yeah, but yeah, the pivot I ain't watched the pivot in a while. I used to watch all the smoke, but I don't watch them that much no more. I don't even know why. I don't watch them that much no more. I used to watch them. Um, yeah, so I watched a couple of podcasts, but I had to check that Pacific one out to see that interview. Ryan Clark, um, I like what he stands for also. Um, just as a person, how he acts and everything. Um, his point of view. Because it's him and it's Fred Taylor and I forgot the other guy's name. But yeah. But I haven't watched him in a while. I watch Gilbert sometimes, even though Gilbert's goofy too. I watch Gil's Arena with them, with Kenyon Martin and them. Yeah, so it's a couple of them that I watch on my spare time. Yeah. Oh man, so yeah, man, you came at a good time, even though I'm about to wrap up this video. Um, yeah, I see that. I heard about Vernon Maxwell. Yeah, because like I said, I ain't watched them in so long, man. I used to watch them every week when they had their show. Um, but yeah, I see that Vernon Maxwell was what did see a clip of that. Yeah, yeah. Uh, but yeah, man, that's my show for this week. Um, Final thoughts. The WNBA about to come back, so I wonder how it's gonna be interesting to see this year. Even though this draft was a deep draft, but I wonder if it's gonna be um the same popularity that it was last year that Keith Clark brought to it. That's a great question. Bo Jackson or Dion? I personally like Dion better. Honestly, like I didn't. I heard more about Bo, but I didn't see Bo. I only pretty much seen highlights of Bo Jackson. Dion, I actually seen play baseball and football. He used to play for my Braves in baseball. Of course, during the '90s, when he went to San Francisco, won a Super Bowl, went to Dallas the next year, won. Um, Even in his Atlanta days, I watched, but Bo, I didn't really see much of Bo. I more heard about Bo Jackson. So just on that alone, I go Dion. And Dion, it's not fair to Bo, but Dion lasted a long time before once he got his turf toe, that would slow Dion down. But Bo Jackson, that hip injury was devastating to him. But if you go watch his highlights, he was something else in baseball and in football especially. The highlights he had in football for the Raiders. Um, in baseball, I think he played for the Kansas City Royals. Um, of course, he could hit for power, but he was a great outfielder. Dion, he stole bases in baseball. He played center field. Well, he could put him out anywhere on the outfield. Um, he just used his speed um, to play the game. But yeah, I would definitely go Dion for me. I wouldn't argue much about Bo, even though Bo, unfortunately, his career was short. But I go Dion all the way. It's not To me. It's not that much of a. It's not a well. I don't want to say it's not a debate, but I'll clearly go with Dion. But Bo Jackson was something else, though. The stories and the highlights. You go pull up his highlights. He did a lot of amazing things in both baseball and football. So, but yes, I would go with Dion for sure. Um, for me, just personally, you know. But yeah, Dion, his turf toe. Once he got that turf toe, that slowed him down a little bit. Um, as far as his career, he stopped playing baseball. And stuck with football for his latter his career. Had to go to safety. Couldn't play corner really no more. Um, Played with the Ravens. He played with the Ravens like a year or two. At the end of his career. So yeah, so I would go with Dion for sure. Oh, really? I haven't seen. I'm surprised I haven't run into him because I still live in the area. Like I used to see him at Rogers all the time. Um, well, I don't want to say like every once in the blue moon I run into him at Rogers Station. He's something else, man. You already know how Gary is, man. He's something else, man. But I heard that he basically signed. I fired him because he uh he tried to do some other job, and he did basically just couldn't do it. So that's what I heard happened to him. So I know Northwest is still under Sinai, so I guess maybe that's what happened. I don't know, but that's the last I heard of him. I haven't seen him in probably about a year or so. Um, I used to go to Rogers all the time. I would see him. I guess getting off from Sinai, but I guess once he left Sinai, maybe that's why I ain't see him anymore. Um, so yeah, but yeah, Gary was something else, man. Uh, Well, I know you came in right when I was talking about the NBA playoffs. What you think? What you think about the playoffs? Who you got uh, in the finals? I'm still gonna stick with Boston, even though they did look good in Game One, but that's just because they didn't hit threes. Um, I'm really impressed with the Pacers. I'm really impressed with what the Pacers have done to Cleveland the first two games. Out west, the Warriors to me. Now, well, Steph is hurt, so hopefully they get him back. But the Warriors look probably the best out of all the teams that's left in the Western Conference. Denver, though, also can't be ignored. OKC as well, but in Minnesota. So I had the Lakers coming out the West, but they got destroyed in the first round. So now I really don't. I mean, I said OKC, but I really don't know. I think any of these West teams could come out, but in the East, I'm gonna stick with Boston for now. Um, Unless they wind up losing again to the Knicks and going down 2-0 also. Then if that's the case, I'll go. I like Indiana. I'm really starting to warm up to Indiana, the Pacers now. So, but yeah, we'll see. Boston and Minnesota. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that because Minnesota, I think they're gonna bounce back from this game. I think they had a long layoff because they played a lot better in the second half. But I still give the Warriors credit, like I was saying earlier. They defensively they played probably the best you ever seen them play um, throughout their whole run. Um, but I think for Minnesota, I think well, at Mass he's going to play better, but I think Julius Randle got to be um, more aggressive if they're going to win this series. Um, and they got to get this next game. I don't think you want to go down. Well, any series you never want to go down 0-2, especially if you was at home at first. It's just not the percentage is not good for you. So, but I think they bounce back. I think they use Rudy more. Also, I think it was some plays that Rudy um, did his thing on. Um, and I think the role player is going to play better for Minnesota. So I expect them to win this next game, especially if Steph don't play. Um, but the Warriors have been playing great defensively. Now Boston, like I said, I think they just they was off for a while. Also, they had a bad shooting night, and that's their weakness. When they threes ain't falling, it's like they don't know how to run an offense. You know, they just get content with the three too much. I think they should if they'd have drove to the basket. Well, after you miss 40 something threes, like drive to the basket. That's what Minnesota did. That's how Minnesota got back into the game last night. Once the threes wasn't falling, they started driving to the basket. I think if Boston do that, Tatum and Brown, they hard to stop driving to the basket. I didn't understand. The Knicks took advantage of it. But see, the Knicks, the thing with the Knicks is they play their starters too much. So I think eventually they going in this series they might just get wore down. Um, playing, Jalen Brunson. Even though I love Jalen Brunson, he's played well, especially down the stretch. He hit big shots, but he is undersized, and also you playing on 40 minutes, 45 minutes a game. That's going to weigh on you eventually. So I still like Boston coming out the East. I'm Cleveland. Even though the Indiana took these first two games, I don't count them completely out yet. They do got injuries. I think it's just too much pressure on Donovan right now. He had to score 48 points and they still lost the game. They pretty much choked this game though. They should have won this game too. The first game Indiana won from start to finish, but this last game, Cleveland pretty much blew the game. But they need Garland and Hunter back for sure going into Indiana. But it's going to be hard for them to come back in that series though. But yeah, I can't argue with Boston to Minnesota. I would actually like to see Minnesota get there. Because OKC, I just still think they're too young, man. Like, that's my trepidation on them. Denver, I just think the Joker, speaking of people got to do too much, Joker don't score 40 and get 20 rebounds. Jamal Murray, too inconsistent. Also, Michael Porter Jr. Where is he? Like I haven't heard Michael Porter Jr. name in a long time. He gotta. Um, those two guys gotta show up, or it's hard for Denver to win games. And the Warriors, like I said, if Steph is hurt for an extended period of time, and they still undersized, but Buddy Hield has been also been an X factor for them. He's been shooting lights out, um, and kept them in these games as well. So I think it might be Ant Man, even though Ant Man say he don't really want to be the face of the league. I think quietly it's sort of Jason Tatum. You see him, in a lot of the commercials. Um, but I would say like, especially if they do make the finals, I think it would be Ant Man. But I think right now, I think they trying to push Jason Tatum into that role. I think the NBA is trying to because he played for the Celtics, which is a big franchise, for the NBA. So I think they trying to push Tatum into that position. But if Ant Man and then if they play each other in the finals, I guess whoever wins it will get more publicity. So that's an interesting question. Yeah, but yeah, I would say right now it's Tatum. Um, and then I think if Ant Man wind up winning the whole thing, then it could be him. Yeah, it could be him. Because even though the league is a lot of more foreign players now. Like I said, you would say Luka because he played for the Lakers. But I still think overall, our American fans, we still want to see an American face. Like I like Luka. Luka is one of my favorite players for sure, but I don't think he could be the face of the league necessarily. Honestly, because he's foreign. So, um, like Joker, he's won MVPs. Even Giannis, even though Giannis sort of, fans warmed up to Giannis, but it still don't feel like LeBron or Steph. It still don't feel like America is really wrapped their arms around them because they foreign players. Um, so that's why I think it'd be Ant Man or Jason Tatum if take that step. But yeah, I don't think a foreign player can really be the face of the league. So that's why I would not say Luka, even though I like Luka. The Joker, look at everything he's done. He's still not the face of the league. So it got to be an American player for sure. Like Wembyama, everybody think Wembyama can do it. He's still for it. A lot of people like him and they hyped about him, but I don't think those guys could be really the face of the league. It got to be an American player. So yeah, but yeah, I think it'd be Ant Man if Minnesota do make this deep run. Ant Man would probably be the new face, even though he said publicly he don't want to be. He just want to play basketball, all that stuff. So yeah. All right, Derek, I gotta get out of here. I'm past my time, man. It's always good. Like you made the show great. Um, you know, I'm gonna be live Friday, but I'm gonna be live on one of my video games. But I usually talk sports all day while I'm playing the game as well. Um, so I think I'm gonna do a live Friday, Friday evening probably sometime, um, and I'll be back to talk more sports. Um, yeah, man. Like I'm a little sad about Justin Tuck, but yeah, we the Ravens will be all right. Hopefully, So yeah, man, for a whole year too. A whole year they pushed that GTA back. I might just go ahead and get 5, just to get some taste of GTA. Because I ain't played GTA since the fourth one. That was think about how long ago that was. Over 10 years ago. So I might just get 5, just to have one of them to play, and then when 6 come out, go ahead and get 6. But they say the online on 5 is crazy. It's fun. Like you go around killing people. Like it's crazy, man. So I might go ahead and get that. Play the campaign first, then get online. So I know it probably don't cost that much now either. So, but yeah, I heard about it. It was A lot of people was peed off about it. I think it don't come out till next, was it, did they say October 2026 or is it May 2020? Basically, I know it's over a year. So, yeah. But yeah, I might just go ahead and get 5 and just play around with that one until that one come out. But I'm playing right now. I'm playing cause I only had my PS5 since like January, so I playing like um Call of Duty. Of course, I play that all day long. I'm always gonna play Call of Duty. I'm playing Tekken 8. I did get Madden because it was on sale. They got that college football. I heard that's a good game. That's on sale. I got Ninja Guy in Black. That's probably a newer game. I bought the Spider Man. I'm playing that right now. Spider Man is fun. I just wish they'd had some DLCs for it. So that's mainly what I'm playing. I bought the Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, even though I ain't played it about a couple weeks. I got like 10 games I'm playing at one time. That's my problem. I bought all these games and now it's too many games. I can't even get to some of the games I already bought. So, but yeah, but I play Call of Duty every day. I still get over my man Don. You know who Don is, my boy Don Parker. We still play a little bit of that every day. But yeah, I only had my PS5 for a couple of months, so but yeah, I might go and just get GTA 5 and just play that until the other one come out. I got a Twitch, man. I got a Twitch. I need to get it back active. I tried Twitch a couple of times. I did a couple of streams on there through Twitch a couple of times. But only thing I like about Twitch is you can't save. I mean, you only can live stream. So at least with YouTube, sometimes I live stream, sometimes I record a video and post it. Twitch, you could put little clips on Twitch, but I got a Twitch. I need to actually reminded me. I need to open it back up because I did probably not in a while, but I think I did a couple of my sports blogs on Twitch also. But mainly I did on Twitch. I did Call of Duty on Twitch. But yeah, so I got a Twitch, so I'm thinking about getting it back active. But I just gotta I gotta log back. I ain't logged into it in a while, so I basically gotta go tweak it again. So, but yeah, I've done Twitch. I got a Twitch. Actually, it's in my it should be in my profile here. My Twitch handle should be still in my profile here on YouTube. Just go to my description of my channel, and it should be right there. I just gotta reactivate it. But yeah, yep, I got Twitch. I was only doing Twitch like when I had the time. I was doing Twitch. I would do once a week Twitch, once or twice a week, and then I did YouTube the rest of the time. But yeah, but I don't got a big following on Twitch. I know my Twitch following is barely nothing, like you know. But yeah, but I'm thinking about trying to build that back up also. So I used to have it linked to when I had the PS4. I had the Twitch link to it, and I had the YouTube link to it. But I think with the PS5, or at least so I ain't figured it out. With the 4, you can have multiple links to channels. On here, you only can have one. So I got my YouTube link to it. But if I can somehow link that back to it, I'll be back with you. So maybe sooner or later you'll see. I'll probably try Twitch again. Yep. I know you probably can't see Dirk. I'm 41, right? But well, I got my hat on, but I got grays in there, man. You might can't see them, but probably because I'm too far away. But other than that, I mean, my face probably still look kind of young, but I got grays. I've got grays coming in. I'll probably get my hair cut this week though. That's when I really look young, when I get my hair cut short and get my beard and stuff trimmed up. But yeah, I'm grateful for that, man. I still look, I still look young for my age. I'll be 42 this year, so yeah, a lot of people don't believe me. I gotta show them my ID to show them that I'm not like a funny story at my job. Like they definitely don't believe it. Like I think I'm older than my boss. Oh, okay, you got a birthday coming up soon. Okay. You be 38? Dang, I know I was that much older than you. I thought we was like maybe a year or two apart. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I sure I'll talk to you again before your birthday. But man, I hope you have a good one, man. Like I said, you're a good dude. Well, you look young for your age too, though, Derek. Especially if you when you get your stuff trimmed down, you don't look your age either. You know what I mean? So, but as they say, well, even though it's not for everybody, but they say black don't crack. I mean, a lot of us don't age uh, too badly, you know. So, but I'm just be grateful for it. I'm happy to be old. Now my body don't feel young, man. Like I need to go to the gym, man. Like just for cardio, cause I can't. Like if I try to run, man, I get tired so fast. Like I look like I could run forever. I look in shape, but I'm not in shape at all. Like my cardio is horrible. Like I get tired so fast. But and my knees, I got bad feet. My feet is bad. Now my feet look good, but I had an accident when I was in Jersey. Um, I had a power jack back up into my feet, and my feet ain't been really the same since. They start aching after a while. They get cramps and stuff like that. My knees crack. So even though I look young, I feel like I'm 40 something sometimes. Yeah, man. So yeah, yep, that's true, man. Yep. I ain't seen the meme, but I get it. That's crazy, man. Yeah. Cause what's the date? The 7th. So you got exactly 2 weeks. 2 weeks from the day, then. You got exactly 2 weeks for your birthday. Yep. You got any day planned? I well, when I turned 40, I wasn't in Maryland. I was in Jersey, so I ain't do nothing. But last year, um, I didn't do much or nothing either. But people already asked me, "What you going to do?" I was like, I just don't. I mean, I'm grateful for my birthday, but it's just another day to me, honestly, most of the time. So, if somebody surprised me and do something for me, I'm grateful for it. But I don't really, I really don't worry about it too much. You know. Okay, well, good luck with that, man. For real, good luck with that, man. Hopefully everything. June is really around the corner now. Yeah, it is May, so yeah, so I know you gotta get ready for that, man. But good luck, man, for sure, man. I'm just trying to keep my head above water, man. Like I got stuff going on behind the scenes. My grandmother's sick. Um, my job, I had to sort of take a step back. I'm supposed to go back in a week. I just had to get my mind straight. Um, so that's why I had time to come over here today. Um, Still trying to get some stuff done behind the scenes. Yeah, well, it don't look good to be honest. Like she got stage 4 lung cancer. Like my sister right now, keep on saying you need to go down there and see her. I haven't gone to see her yet. Not to get too deep and tell my whole life story, but I wasn't real close to her. I mean, I don't got no problem with her. I ain't even seen her in 4 years until now. Well, if I go see her, it'll be 4 years. I ain't seen her since my mother passed away, and really since I've been an adult, I haven't seen her much. I would see her every once in a while. Um, and then her husband, I'm not sure what his mindset is. I don't want to go down there to a bunch of crap and drama. But she said my other sister's down there, so that I got this time off, I might go down there. I might could go down there later today if I make some time. Go down there later today just to see her, you know, just in case. But they're not giving her a lot of time, so yeah, yeah, that's my phone ringing. Yeah, but yeah, man. But I mean, hopefully somehow it's a miracle, but it's not looking good for her. So I probably do need to go down there and see her. Actually, I might do because I ain't been to Artscape in years. So I might actually go this year. I might actually go. Yeah, yeah, I might actually go this year. Um, but all right, I really gotta go this time. 'Cause that phone call, I had to take that phone call. But Derek, you be easy, bro. Um, I'll be back on here. Like I said, I'm gonna probably do another live Friday. But it'll be through my video games, Fabulous Guys. Check it out. I already did some lives on it before. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. You stay easy. Good luck to you with your studies, man. I'll be talking to you. Uh, like I said, I still got your number, man. So definitely feel free to reach out. I gotta get better at that. I'm just bad at that, Derek. I'm really bad at phones and stuff like that. I really am, man. But you take it easy, man. Thank you for coming to the show. You made it great because I probably would have. I think you made it a little bit better, a little bit more. If somebody watched the replay, we talked deep about some sports stuff. So you was great. Thanks for being supportive, man. And I see you, bro. You stay easy. Everybody else that's watching the replay, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Peace and love always. We'll be back with the blog next week, but definitely join me Friday for my other live and comment. Definitely leave your name in the comments. I'll definitely shout you out. And I know, I know, man. But all right, y'all. Y'all take it easy, man. Thanks for joining me this morning, and y'all have a good rest of the week. Peace and love always. Love you guys. Thanks, man.